Yeah, hello everyone. So here is a new course from Complete in a Week. So what we are going to do here. So the course is the Node.js REST API and how we can create a beautiful application in Node.js REST API. So so generally while creating a backend application, so there will be much conflict like for example, which technology will select and how will be the backend and how we are going to connect with the front end and if there are the different platform on the front end. So how we should proceed that. So definitely from the front end side, whenever we are creating an application, so there are many choices and there will be a variety of things that are available from the front end side. And we can have a different platform like Android, iOS. After that, it could be a HTML, it could be a PHP, and or whatever it is, which will be on the front end side, which is accessing the data. But the main core part that will be the back end, that will be the core part of your application. That is should be very much common. That should because that will be the central place to give the data to all this front end application. So it means that if you are creating an application, if you are creating an application like a e-commerce website, or it could be an educational website, or it could be any other website, so you will prefer to provide all the access to your user on mobile, on your laptop, on the desktop, on many other platforms from the front end side. And all these front end side, when they try to access the data, so they will access from a backend application. And that's what we are going to build here today. So in a backend application, so we'll just have a quick view what exactly we are going to do over here. So we are going to have a very rough idea. So it is not something like that we are nothing to worry. It should just follow the steps that we are doing over here. And you will have at each and every step, I will provide you the material in the course, course material. You can find it over there. And if you are not able to implement, nothing to worry, you can take the material from over there, but I'll prefer watch the complete session, then start the implementation. Then again, you can rewind the video and you can see where you are missing. But believe me, once the course is completed for you, you'll be not only be able to create an application, but you will be able to understand how exactly a backend application works. Because creating a backend application, it is not something about writing a CURD operation, a create, delete, update operation in the backend with the MySQL, or it could be MongoDB or anything else. But understanding in which way we are doing by considering the scale, by considering the amount of data, by considering the number of users, by considering the load, by considering the performance. So, and how should be your architecture for the application by when you see, when you say your application is going to grow, so you should able to maintain it, correct? So these are the perspective that we are going to cover here. So whatever the application we are going to build over here throughout this course, that will be a limited, that will be a short, but it will give you a lot of option. I'll quickly show you a website, for example, what we are going to create over here as a backend application. So I'll just show you a quick view of that so that you will be able to understand what we are going to do. Yeah, perfect, everyone. So here is a sample REST API application that I have opened here that we are going to build throughout this project, throughout this course with you all people here. So the thing is that while writing a backend application, you need a lot many other things. For example, you need a language to write your backend application. You need a database to store the data. You need some technology to properly display it, not to the end user, but to your front-end developer, because your front-end developer must understand what you have wrote. Getting? So writing a Node.js application for the REST API or any backend application will not be the complete job. Representing it in a correct way, how the backend should get called, in which format you are accepting the data, in which format you are giving the data back, you must explain it very well in a documentation. You could do it in a Word document, you can do it in an Excel, but obviously this will not be the correct solution when you're going to the bigger scale. So here we'll also see the Swagger documentation. So Swagger documentation will enable you to provide the whatever the REST API, what is the backend application you are building in a correct format so that your front-end developer can easily understand that. And he can know the input format, he can know the output format, he can know all the data parts that you are providing. He can also know what are all the facilities you are providing from the backend side. So they will be able to get to know. And this will be very useful. For example, if your Angular developer from the front end is requesting some data, so the same data that you can, whatever the backend you have created, so the Angular developer will use to write some Angular application. Angular application, otherwise the Android person, otherwise there may be some other people from the front end. So everyone is requesting you the data. So this will be the common place where all the front end people, all the front end developer can see the data and access the data. And it depends on them how they are representing on the front end. The Android developer can display it in different format, the iOS developer in different format, the other people may be on different format, but the data will be same because centrally the backend application is one only here. Fine, that's perfect. Okay, so till now one thing is clear. So we are going to create a Node.js REST APIs. Fine, to serve the data efficiently as a backend application. So what exactly the REST API do for you? REST API is a very systematic way to give the data to your who is requesting the data. You can validate the request, you can perform some operation, you can give it the data back. There are many advantages of REST APIs. So if you see in this particular course, we are not going to cover the things that are not the core part of this course. For example, the SQL queries. For example, the REST API. What is the theory behind the REST API. After that, there will be many other things. For example, the deployment thing, many other things will be there. Here, the core idea that we will try to understand how to write a backend application. Fine. So how to create a structure for that, how to add a REST APIs in your backend application, how to divide the various responsibilities in a backend application to different files, how to add a Swagger documentation to your backend application. So these are the things that we are going to focus in this particular course, not the SQL queries, and there will be few more things are there that we are not going to cover because that are already available and that should not be the part of this particular course, and you will miss out the core idea of writing a backend efficient application. Perfect, everyone. So we'll quickly see what exactly the REST API is. So I'm not going to show you a boring PPTs and all those things. Will easily just Google and see how exactly the REST APIs and all other things work. Okay, that's good. So here is a very simple image that is showing here. So a client is requesting for a data. Okay, and here we are from the server side. Okay, so we are accepting the request, but while listening to the request, okay, so we have just now seen what is REST API. Okay, REST API take the request, give it the data back, and it will just forget everything. Very important. What is REST API? It is taking the input, performing some operation, giving the data back, the requested data based upon the credentials or whatever it could be, the business logic inside. But the core idea of the REST API is very much simple. Ask me something, I will give you something back, and that's it. I will forget everything. Getting? So here, if you have already been worked with some application like a PHP session, otherwise there will be some server-side programming or the client-side programming where we maintain the sessions. So what exactly happened over there? So there we remember the session. What is the benefit of the session? For example, the user is just now logged in. Okay, then we'll remember him for the next 1-2 hours or 1-2 days, or based upon the other settings, we'll remember him for a long time. So whenever the next request he will raise, we should not taken care of other things like their username, password is correct or not, and everything. In just first connection, they will validate themselves, and then they can start a transaction with the server. That's it. But here in REST API, it is not something like that. In REST API, each and every request should be validated because the core principle of the REST API, ask me something based upon the business logic, I will give you the data back. That's it. I'll forget everything. So what does it mean? It means simply is that I will not remember anything for your next request. So whenever you are again coming back to me, you should come back with all the credentials to me. So why it is something like that in REST API? So this is something, what we can say, complex approach. No, complex we cannot say, but the tedious approach, because each time in a request we are validating, we are not remembering the previous request, so that in each request we need to perform many things of the credentials validation and everything. Is it something very much complex? No. To handle that part, so the question is very good, that will come in our mind. So in each and every request, so we are validating the request and performing some operation and again giving the data back. Next time again validating and again giving the data back. But one advantage we are getting over here that is very important. What is that? The advantage is that, so for example, the Android application is requesting some data. After that, iOS application is requesting some data. After that, a website is requesting some data. Getting everyone? Your website is same, but it is getting accessed by an application, by a website, or by an iOS application, or anything it could be. So many front-end entities are there that are requesting the data. So it will not be feasible, it will not be good idea when you are working on a large scale, when the number of requests will be a bigger. So from the scalability perspective, you should create the backend which will support the REST API. So it can handle the number of requests that your backend can handle will be much more bigger than the traditional approach. Because the core principle of the REST API says, I will not remember anything after this request processing. So the benefit of that, you can easily increase the processing power of your REST API of your backend application. Because it doesn't matter with the what is the connection between this request and that request. Everything is unique. That's it. Getting everyone? So here is the benefit of the REST API, that we'll ask something with the REST API, we'll give the credentials or whatever the what we can say, a token mechanism will be there or something that we'll see in detail in the upcoming sessions. But this is how we'll request some data with the REST API and the backend is going to give us some data back, and that's it. We are done. Okay, fine. So till now we have understood one thing, that in this course we are working with the REST API. Fine. So we need to create this REST API in the Node.js. Okay. So why exactly Node.js? What is the Node.js? And how we are going to create a REST API? So few things that we are going to use in this particular project to create a Node.js REST API. Okay. So let's quickly search what exactly the Node.js do. Okay. So Node.js is an open source cross-platform backend JavaScript runtime environment that runs on Chrome V8 engine and blah blah something. Okay. What exactly it means? So we want to write a REST API. Okay, that's it. But it should have some environment where we can do all this thing. Getting everyone? So Node.js will provide you that runtime environment where whatever the application you have wrote, that can be run. One interesting thing here. So we are going to write our REST APIs, our Node.js application in JavaScript. So this is something like interesting. The people who are familiar with the front-end programming or the front-end development, or the people who are the front-end developers already, the working professionals. So here the important thing is that you might have already be familiar with the JavaScript. Yes, of course, many people. So JavaScript, the same JavaScript you can use here to write your REST APIs. And that advantage is provided by the Node.js, because we are using the Node.js runtime environment to run our application that is being written in the JavaScript. So we are going to write our REST APIs with the JavaScript, and you can take advantage of whatever the knowledge you are having in the front end for the JavaScript over here. That's perfect. And JavaScript itself provides many things. It could be a callbacks, it could be a resolver. There are many internal things from the performance perspective as well. So once we started application, when the core application is ready with us, so once we are able to serve a few little REST APIs, we'll definitely discuss each and every inch of the application where we can enhance the application, where we can put the more performance efficient approaches. But as I previously also said, we will create a very simple application, and then we will slowly try to enhance a small part of that application from different corners so that we can understand the core logic. Fine, everyone? Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, fine. So till now we have understood that we are going to use the Node.js over here. Okay, next, what is the next thing that we are going to use? So that will be Express. Perfect. What is Express here? So Express is something you can say a framework. Okay, let's see Express.js. Yeah, Express.js is simply Express is a backend web application framework for Node.js. Release is a free open source software under the MIT license, something, something, something. Node Express is great. How? Fine. See, what is Node.js? It is providing you a runtime environment where you can run an application. But definitely you need some framework, correct? Where you can write your logic, where you can write your code. Okay. So what exactly the framework do? So a small difference, a programming language, a framework, a plugin. What exactly the programming language do? JavaScript, okay? JavaScript will allow us to write a program, okay? Then what Express.js? Okay, Express.js is a framework. So framework in the sense, already a set of instructions are already written over there. Already a set of instructions are written over there. You make use of that and create your functionality. That's the framework. Getting the name itself suggests. So we are going to write our application in JavaScript by using Express framework. It means that in Express framework, there are many functionalities are provided in build to create a REST API. Because creating a REST API, see guys, so there will be some technical terms. So we need to create a REST API server, then it will be turned on, then it will receive the request, it will give the data back, and many things, blah, blah, blah. Other things will be there, correct? Yeah. So we are not so that is the common technical thing while whenever we are creating a REST API, correct? So our core logic is that to write the REST API, not how to create a REST API server, turning it on, turning it off, again taking the request, giving the back. So these all things are the predefined by the Express.js. Getting everyone? So we are going to use over here Express.js, one of the most popular framework for the REST APIs creation. It will provide most of all the facilities, and then we can very easily start writing our REST APIs. Hope you will enjoy it. Perfect. Coming to REST API, I already covered. Next, in REST API, so one important thing I would like to highlight here. REST APIs. Where is that? Where is that? No. Yeah, here is the one. So when we have seen this diagram, so it is saying that get, post, put, delete. What is that? Okay. So someone is requesting the data. So with that request, they will also supply the method. Getting everyone? So if you are a backend, somebody is asking you, give me this data. So with that data, they will provide you the method. Okay. I want to get this data. I want to put this data. I want to delete this data. I want to post this data. Getting everyone? So if somebody saying you, I want to delete this data. I want to put this data. So whatever the data they are giving, with that data only, they are saying that what they want to do with that. See, the front end is asking you, I want to get all the posts. They will use the get method while requesting the data. After that, the front end will say, I want to add this post. The front end will say to you like, I will use the post method. I want to add this post. I want to add this article to the database. Getting everyone? Next, put. Okay, why the put method will be used? Put method will be used to update some record. Okay, see. So the front end will say something like you, what you can say, I want to update this article. That time, the method will be put. After that, the front end will say, I want to delete this article. So that time, the method will be delete. So what are the method? This is called as HTTP method, and there are few other HTTP methods as well, but these are the four frequently used. It doesn't matter that if you misplace also this, but it is a common practice to use it properly, and it will be very much helpful when you will install a third-party plugins with this. That's perfect. Okay, so get method, we are very much clear that if someone is requesting you the data using the REST API, so the method is get, it means that you need to give some data. He is requesting some data. Then the request contains the post method. It means that you should understand they are trying to add something to the backend. Okay, the request is put. You should understand they are trying to update something. That's perfect. After that, if the request method is delete, you should understand they want to delete some record. But definitely, you should remember that this is not something like in each and every case you will properly follow this method. Sometimes we have to do some arrangement, and that we will see in the upcoming sessions, and that we have to do at few places. Perfect, everyone, because definitely with each and every method there will be some restriction, there will be something blah blah stuff will be there, and that will be changed depend on the situation that we are currently working on. But these are the common principles we can say. Okay, perfect. So this is all about the REST API. One more important thing. So till now we have discussed about whenever a REST API is being called, so somebody is requesting the data to you means their backend. Okay, so they are going to use this method. So whenever you give the data back, so definitely you will give the data back in some JSON or something. So obviously most of the time we will deal with JSON. So we'll not discuss more about the JSON over here. So JSON is a common, what we can say, a format that we will use to transfer the data over the internet, to share it between the two entities or two entities. Okay, that's perfect. So to share the data, we can say, perfect. So while requesting, get, post, put methods are used. While giving the data back, for example, you are giving the data back in JSON. Okay, but whenever you give the data back, so with that we'll attach some status code. What exactly the status code? For example, if somebody is requesting you the data and you are saying you are not authorized for this, so what status code you will give? You will give the 401 unauthorized status back. Okay, fine. Somebody is requesting you to please add this record by using the post method, and somehow in backend you have found so this user is not the data is not good, or whatever the data he has given me, this is not in correct format, that doesn't suit the requirement. So what error you will give? So you will give the status code that is 404, that is the bad request. Getting everyone? So while getting the data, they are giving you some methods with that data, correct? Get, post, something. And while giving the data back, so what is the data in JSON format that you will give using the REST API, but with that you will also provide the status code. So let's try to understand what are the status codes. So it is called as HTTP status codes. Let's have a clear look. Yeah, here is a good example that I found for the HTTP status code. So in HTTP status code, there are something what we can say bunch of response code that you can give it back to the front end. So what exactly happened with the processing of that request? So for example, so see here. So for example, the status code that you're giving back is like in a range of 100, in a range of 200, in a range of 300, 400. So there are certain meanings for that. Definitely this won't affect anything, but it is common practice to use this convention. For example, so just a simple example, if whatever the request you have get, for example, the user is saying that I want to add this article. The front end is saying that I want to add this article. The request came to you, you are a REST API. Then you have added that record. So in return, what you will say with the REST API, in the response, you will say the record successfully added, the article successfully added. With that, you need to provide the status code. So what status code you will provide? 201. Getting everyone? So the whatever we are saying, like article successfully added, record successfully added, everyone can use different conventions. Perfect, everyone. But the code will be unique for everyone. So the code is saying 201. So front end can easily understand, okay, whatever I have given using the post method to add the data, that got successfully added. And this is this response status code for that. Okay, that's perfect. After that, what is 204? No contain. Okay, so front end is requesting you, I want this particular article. So front end is giving you an ID and asking you, REST API, I want this particular article. So you will take that request as a backend, as a REST API application, and you will take that ID from that REST API. You will try to process in the backend with your business logic in your database or something. And if you, for example, that particular article ID that is being asked in the request is not present. So what you will say in the response? You will say no record found. Fine. So this is the message you have given, no article found. With that, what status code you will attach? You will attach 204. It means no contains. Very much simple, guys. So here many things will be there. For example, yeah, this is the one of the good one. This 400. So for example, is the REST API is saying that please add this. The front end application is giving a call to REST API to you and saying please add this article. The article name is this. The article created date time, article created by me, this, that, many things that it is giving you, and the request came to you. Then definitely you will validate that request, correct? There is a correct description or not, or the length of that description is correct or not, or the whatever the date time mentioned is correct or not. So many things you will validate as a backend application in your validation. Perfect. And if you found like the description is missing in the article, and that is compulsory field from the backend, so definitely you cannot add that article, even though the front end is asking, please add this article using the post method and given this data in which the description is missing. So what response code you will give it back? You will say bad request. So what exactly the bad request indicates? The 400 bad request status code indicates that the server cannot or will not process the request due to something that is perceived to be client error. It means that from the client side something is problem, from the front end side something is problem, something is missing in your request. Getting everyone? This will be a very generic what we can say description. Don't go much detail of that. It simply means that the request is not having a sufficient data to process. That's it. Okay, what is 401? 401 is also one of the common one. For example, the same we have discussed that the front end is requesting for adding an article, it is giving some data and everything, but the front end, whatever the user details are there in that particular request, so that user is not authorized to add an article. So in response code, you will give 401 unauthorized. With that, the front end will be will understood that whatever the request I have made, I am not authorized for that. So as by using that, it can also display some message on the screen for the user. So this is unauthorized request, or you are not authorized for this. So many things will be there. Getting everyone? Yeah, perfect. So till now we have seen what is REST API, how we can get the data from a REST API, how we can give the data back from a REST API. We have understood, we have tried to understood a simple scenarios, how exactly it works. We have also tried to understood what is Node.js, and we have also tried to understood what is Express framework. Very important guys, be very clear, very specific. What is language, what is framework, what is plugin? These things will be very much simple, but we will misplace many times. Perfect, everyone. Let me see what we have, anything we have missed here in my list. Yeah, Swagger documentation, I think I have told you. Yeah, coming to the Swagger documentation, if you are able to see here, so this is the sample application that we are going to build. So this is how your output is going to look here. So as I told you, whenever the you will complete your backend application, so you're going to give it to the front-end team. So the front-end team, please consider this documentation while requesting any data. So these will be the rules for you, this will be the input formats, and this is how I will provide you the output, and many things will be mentioned over there. And the Swagger is the best option for that. So Swagger is one of the most popular open source, what we can say, a REST API documentation tool, you can say. Getting everyone? So we will also see how we can add a Swagger in our application in this particular course. So let's quickly see what exactly we can do over here. So in this application, we'll do one thing, otherwise I'll explain you all the course, all the project what will be the facilities, what are the features that we are going to build in this particular application, and then we'll see how the Swagger will work according to that. Fine, everyone. I hope everyone are pretty much clear with this. If you have any single question, I will be available in the evening session. You will receive a mail. If you have any doubts on that, you can connect me in the evening link, where the link will be emailed to you after the registration. And if you have any questions over there, you can connect with me. Otherwise, in the course material also, you can find all the answers for each and every session. If you are having some issues, if you want some links for any installation or any setup downloads, and whatever the codes will be there. For example, as I told you that we are not going to focus on the SQL queries. So definitely the material will consist of the systematic SQL queries that you just need to copy and paste, because here we are not going to look into the SQL queries. I don't want to waste your time over there and do much R&D and investigation looking into some inner join, left join, right join, and many other stuff. Fine, everyone? Perfect. After that, one more important thing, one of the core important thing that we will see here, that how we can design the structure of the backend application with respect to the many things like the scalability, performance, security, and many other things. Getting everyone? So I hope everyone will enjoy the course, and see you there in the first session. Thanks so much. Yes, everyone, welcome back again. So we'll start with the installation and the next session, where we can start creating our first Node.js RESTapi application and start serving the REST API, and that we can see a live output, and we can create an Express app as well, and that will so that is ultimately going to serve your REST API application, we can say. Okay, fine. We'll see step by step how we can do that. Let's do it. So the very first thing, we need to install few things. The first thing that we have discussed, that we need to install the Node.js runtime environment. So let's quickly see how we can get that. So give me a moment. Yeah. So I'll do one thing. I'll say Node.js. So it's very simple. It's an open source, nothing to worry. Just open the nodejs.org. Let it down open. Yeah, it's ready. So while downloading the Node.js runtime environment, a few things that we can take care here. So whenever you will download, it will ask you for the LTS and the current version. So I'll prefer all the time you use the LTM version only. Maybe the time that you're watching the video, I'm recording it today. So for me, the version is 14. For you, it may be 15, 16 later onwards. But the core things will not be changed. There will be some security patches. There will be some new updates. But definitely there will be the backward compatibility. And this is just an environment that we are going to use. So nothing to worry about the different versions if you see when at the time when you're watching the video and downloading it. Fine, everyone, nothing to worry. Just download the LTS version for your respective timings. Okay, yeah, perfect. So once you have downloaded these LTS versions, it will be something about 20 to 30 MB. So it could be different for you as well based upon the version. But the one important thing is that while installing this particular Node.js runtime environment, you may face few issues. For example, you need to do it run as administrator, you need to provide all the permissions, and many things might come when you install, and you will not be able to access the Node.js environment or runtime environment. So simply, it's a very common issues if you face. Most of the time you may not face this issue, but if somebody is facing, you can simply try Googling out, like if you are facing any issues in the Node.js installation, so how you should resolve that. There will be nothing uncommon, a common issues of the securities, a common issues of the installations you might face. That also, so 90% people won't face any problem. It is a very straightforward, because this is only an environment. Getting everyone? So you can simply try double clicking it, start the installation, and just do the next. Nothing to do anything special over here. And for me, it's already installed, so I'll not do it. So make sure you are doing it properly. And if you face any problem, try it on Google. And I'll also tell you how you can verify your Node.js runtime environment installation is successful. Okay, everyone? Perfect. Yeah, it's done. The runtime environment is ready now with us. So the next thing is we need a beautiful IDE where we can start working. So I personally love the Visual Studio Code. So it's VS Code. That's perfect. Code.visualstudio.com. Download Visual Studio for free for Windows. I'm doing it for Windows based upon your operating system. You can do it. It's a very beautiful IDE. I hope already have you might have been used it, or if you are new to it, you will love it definitely, because it's a completely in a dark theme. If you are working for a long time as well, it will give you a very good experience. I personally love it. Yeah, perfect. So what you can do, you can just download. Again, simple installation, nothing to worry, nothing is very difficult. One issue I frequently found with many people with this installation of VS Code. So many people have complained that on Windows 7, when you download the this VS Code and install, it won't open. It will give you a black screen problem. So the people who are having the problem of black screen, so when you open this VS Code after installation, it will just give you a complete black screen, and it will be continuously like that only, and nothing will be appear, and you need to forcefully close that. So that will be a graphics problem, you can say. Getting everyone? So you need to disable the GPU while opening that. So what you can do, you can just try Google out like how to disable the GPU while opening an application. It will be simply like you need to change something in command line or in the properties of that particular shortcut, which will be on your desktop for that VS Code. You can simply try the black screen problem with the VS Code. You will get that. That is called as some black screen problem with Windows for the VS Code. It is simple, perfect, nothing to worry on that. And if you are having any problems also, the WhatsApp number is already given, so our executives will be available. You can just try reaching out over there. They'll definitely help you out. Fine. Otherwise, you can read the documentation. We'll provide you the troubleshooting documentation where the most possible errors will be given over there, and the solutions for also be given over there. So you can try resolving out over there. Otherwise, you can just try WhatsApping on our given support number, where our executive will definitely help you. Fine. Perfect, everyone. So this is the next one that we need to do. Yeah, perfect. So we have performed the installation of Node.js, VS Code. Let's try opening the VS Code. How exactly it look like? It will look like this. Perfect. A complete black dark theme where we can work for a longer time, and it feels good while working here. Okay, fine. The first thing we need to do over here, we'll open a folder. So why we are opening a folder over here? So that we can start working in that. So we'll create a separate folder, and in that we are going to create a project, and that project will be continued for the course till the end of this course. And you can find this course source code in the material if you are having any problem. So I'll highly recommend this the source code which is available in the material of this course. You should not directly download and try running it. Try to do the code simultaneously what that I am doing after the watching the video. Again, rewind it and see, and try to do with your own hands. That will be the perfect solution to learn something. The solution is only provided so that you can check how exactly it's looking, and in the rare case if something is missing, you can try just cross check how exactly it should be and what you have done. Getting everyone? I hope everyone will follow that approach. That will give you the max of this course. Perfect. So I'm trying to open a folder. I have already created a folder with the name recording. I'm opening it. You should also do with some new folder creation, and make sure that folder is completely empty. And create a folder in the D drive or E drive something, not in your C drive where your Windows will be. And for the Mac OS on Linux people, it is nothing to worry. For you, it will be simple. Okay, this is just for the Windows people. Okay, perfect. So now the folder is ready with me. Here I can see my folder name. Now I need to open the terminal. So I can open a terminal from over here. Terminal, new terminal. That's perfect. So my terminal is ready. In my terminal, there is a PowerShell. Perfect. So what I will do here? So here, the first thing, I'll check my Node.js is got successfully installed or not. What is my Node.js? My Node.js is a runtime environment. So I'll say node version. I hope it should be correct. Yes, it is correct. So for me, the Node.js version is version 12. Perfect, everyone. For you, it might be different. Nothing to worry on that. Okay, so my node version is ready. After that, also check for npm version. I hope it should be the correct syntax to check. It is taking longer time than usual. Let it take. Yeah, perfect. The npm is also there. What is npm here? Npm is just a node package manager for the node application, so we can install the required modules very easily using the npm. Fine. It is not nothing to worry. It will be directly it will get directly installed with the node installation only. Nothing to do it separately. Perfect. Our Node.js environment is ready. Our VS Code is ready. It's time to create the first Node.js application for the REST APIs. We can do that. So the command that I will use to initialize my Node.js application, that is very simple. I'll say init. Oh, I'm not able to type. Just a moment. Let me check. Yeah, it's ready. So to initialize our first Node.js RESTapi application, we'll say node init. So what exactly it's doing for me? Node init. Sorry, the wrong syntax. It should be node -init. No. Yeah, perfect everyone. My mistake. It should be npm init. Okay. So using npm, we are initializing an application in Node.js, and then we'll add the framework into that, the Express framework, so that we can start the REST API. So yeah, again, confirm this. This should be npm init. Yeah, it is asking me the package name. What should be my project name? It should be my post. Yeah, make sure that mi-posts. So from now onwards, we'll do one thing, guys. So please follow the same convention that we are following in the video. It could be a small letters, it could be capital letters, it could be hyphen between the words, it could be the camel case, it could be the plural or anything. So follow the as it is syntax, because I have seen many people to whom I train, the maximum 80 to 90% people are having the issues with just the naming convention that will change how it is. For example, I'm writing here my post, you will write it my post. Then what will happen at the time of deployment, you will use my post, but here you are using my post. Getting everyone? There you are using the plural and here you are using the singular. Many things. Some people I have found something like this without mentioning the hyphen. At the time of deployment or at the time of some other folder creation where the name should be common with this or similar to this, there that time they will mention like this, and here in the package name that you are mentioning something like this. So I'll strongly recommend follow the same convention that we are using over here, and I'll try to follow the same convention that are universal throughout the all the applications and the current new standards. Okay, everyone? Perfect. So our application, our package name is my post hyphen and post is plural. Next, it is asking me it's a version or my first application of the first version of the application. Yes. I'll not say anything. I'll just hit enter. That will take the default, and the default is 1.0.0. Nothing to worry here. Description. So I'm saying sample project. Okay, entry point. Okay, this is interesting here. Entry point. So we are writing an application. It is creating an application for us, and it is asking few parameters. It is asking about the application name. It is also asked about the version. It is also asking about what should be the entry point. Definitely we'll write a multiple files in this particular application. So we must mention which will be the entry point, which will be the first file that will get executed, and that file will get linked with the many other files. Fine. So we should mention the entry point. By default, it is an index.js file. So as I already told, we are going to write the application in the JavaScript over here. So definitely the extension will be .js. So we are going to write many .js file as per the business requirement, as per the upcoming sessions. So the entry point, the first file that will be executed for this particular application, that will be index.js. Getting everyone? Yeah. So I'll just hit enter. Nothing to do over here again. Yeah. What is test command? I'll also say hit enter. Nothing to do with testing here. Git repository. No, I don't want to initialize a Git repository here. I'll just say enter. Keywords. No. author, I'll put my name, license, enter. Getting everyone. So it is asking me for the confirmation. Let's review all the details. So package name will be my post, description is sample project, entry point is nothing, it is taking the default index.js, and that's it, author, and perfect. So what we will say, we'll say yes. Yes, for now the Node.js application is ready now. So what it exactly created? It just created the package.json file. So package.json file it is interesting to understand what exactly this file do. Okay, so this particular file contains the metadata, you can say, for your project. What is metadata? So metadata is generally nothing to investigate with the metadata over here, just a normal description, like it is data about data. So metadata in the sense it is consisting of the data of your project. It is consisting of the information of your project. It is consisting of the configuration of your project, you can say. Getting everyone? Yeah. So the name of my project will be this, the version is this, the description is this, getting. So this is what the metadata about my project. The data about my project, the configuration about my project. Okay. After that, it is also saying that main file is this, so that the entry point is this. From here, the execution will start. Okay, that's perfect. So the configuration is ready. So what we can do now? So from now onwards, we can start writing the code. So for start writing the code, we need the .js file. So as we have said that index.js will be the first file. So the very first thing, what we will do, we will create the new file. So I'm just clicking on new file. I'll say index.js. Okay, that sounds good. And the file is ready. I'll say console. Like always, we'll say hello world. Yes, our first file is ready, and in that file we are writing console log. It means that when this particular application will get executed, the entry point is index.js. Okay, what inside index.js? Index.js just want to say a hello world on the console. So how we should execute this application? So while executing this application, one important point here we should notice. What is that? While execution, we should not be much worried about that, which file we should execute and how it will be done, and many other things, like for example, your project is consist of many files and everything. So which particular file you will start executing, or like that. Fine. The configuration is already mentioned in the package.json. So we should not be much worried about that. What simply you can do, you should simply do node index.js. So what it is doing, it is just executing the JavaScript file. It is not executing your project, it is executing index.js file. That's it. And it is saying hello world. So as this is a simple JavaScript, it is just calling that file, it is executing the contents in that particular file. And one important thing that you should notice over here is that after calling, after the work is done, it is closing that particular process. Getting everyone? See one more time. Okay, it came inside this file, done with this particular console, and then it's done. We are again come back to our terminal for the next command. It means that after the operation is done, it is closing the process, it is killing the process. Okay, but one important thing here we should understand. So every time when the as a backend, okay, this is a backend application, somebody is requesting you the data, so it will again open the process, it will serve it, and again close the process for each and every request. No, so this is not looking something handy. Whenever a new request is coming on, it is opening a process. Whenever the process that request operation is done, we have given the data back, we are again closing the process, then again the new process will be created. This is not going to work when we are having with the bulk records. Getting? So like this only, to overcome the issues, there will be different frameworks, there will be different approaches. So what exactly the REST Express do here? So we should understand the necessity of the express over here. The way I'm saying here, when I'm executing a program over here, it is executing the set of lines and then it is again coming back and closing all the process. So it is killing all the memory. It is just deleting all the contents, and it is closing all the resources allocated to that process, or many things are happening. So there could be a very small request coming each and every second, 1,000 requests for each and every second. So every time it is not possible to open the process, to close the process 1,000 times. So definitely we need a better solution for that. So the challenge is what? The challenge over here is that there will be a continuous large number of requests are going to come. The challenge is there will be a continuous large number of requests are going to come now. We need to serve it efficiently. So here I found that it cannot be done here because it is every time closing and killing the process, opening, killing the process, opening, killing the process. Not possible with this approach. So the next solution I will try. So what Express is allowing me? So Express will open an app. So in this particular process, if I write an Express application, what will happen? If I use the Express framework, Express will open an application which will continuously listen to the request. It will not close, it will not kill the process. The process will be opened once only, and it will continuously listen to the request that you are making from the front end. It could be 1,000 requests per second, nothing to worry, it is there to listen. If the number of requests are large, it will keep in queue, or many other things will be there that the REST API will take care, because we have already seen we are using a framework. What mean by framework? Framework in the sense there are already a set of instructions very clearly, very efficiently, well tested, written over there. So we should make use of that. Getting everyone? So it could be any number of requests, nothing to worry. Use an Express app, use an Express framework, and just try to listen those requests. And now we can focus on how we can efficiently process those requests, how we should apply the business logic on that request, and how we can give the data back. Getting everyone? So the complexity of listening the large number of requests, accepting the large number of requests, and giving the data back, it is being taken care by the Express framework. So where we can concentrate now? We can concentrate now on the core logic with that particular request that we can make. It means that very simple. So here we are in the back end. From the front end, it could be any number of requests that should come. Nothing to worry, nothing to worry, nothing to worry, nothing to worry. What Express will do? Express application will be here to listen all these requests. Okay, that sounds very good. After that, this Express application is listening all these requests very well. So now we can start processing these requests as per the business logic over here. Getting everyone? After that, whenever we are done, so this Express application will again give the response back to whoever requested it. It could be any number of large application requests. It doesn't matter, because that is being taken care by the well-known framework, that is the Express. Yeah, I guess everyone are pretty much clear why we are using the Express over here and what we are doing with that. Yeah, so we are using the Express to overcome this challenge over here. Okay, so we'll do one thing. So now we'll try to use Express in this particular application and see what exactly happened and what is the difference. I want to use an Express over here. So what I will do, again, I'm going to use the NPM over here. What is NPM? NPM is a node package manager. I'll say npm install -- save express. I think it's a correct spelling. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, so I'm saying npm install -- save express. What exactly it mean? These 4 words, very simple. Npm, it is a node package manager to install a modular package. Getting everyone? What is install? It's a command. What is save over here? -- So this particular package, Express package, when it will get downloaded from the internet using the npm repositories, it will be locally saved in the node modules folder. So it simply means that it will just download the Express framework and it will make available for our application. Nothing very special over here. So from now onwards, like this only, we are going to use different frameworks. We are going to use different packages to overcome the different issues, because already the set of instructions and a well-designed things are present. So we should make use of that. Like the way we are making use of the Express framework over here. That's it. I'll just hit enter, let it install. It should not take much time. Depends on the internet connection. It might take. For me, it's done. Okay. So now here I'm able to see a new folder called Node modules, and in that I can see a bunch of folders. Nothing to worry over here. So whatever we have discussed here, like it will accept the bunch of requests, keep it in a queue, this, that, and it will again give it back to whoever requested and everything. So whatever the logic will be needed to handle this, all the complex operation of taking the receiving the request and giving the data back, that is all well maintained, that is all well designed here. We are just making use of that. That's perfect. So what we will do now? So here we'll initialize the first Express app, which will start listening our REST API request. So what I'll do here, I'll say, yeah, so here we'll start the code for the adding an Express application. So we'll do one thing. I'll remove this hello world. I'll say constant Express require. Nothing to worry over here, guys. What is the syntax and everything, we'll go through that, each and every letter of this code. Nothing to worry. What exactly we are doing? So the way we do the include in the C++, after that we use the require over here. So in this particular index.js file, I want to use the Express framework, the libraries, the packages, the things available in the Express package that I want to use. That is the reason I said I require it. I require this. Okay, now it is available over here in this particular Express. Okay, fine. Now I can make use of that. Very first thing, what I will do, I'll say constant app. I want to create an application. I want to create an application of what? I want to create an application of the Express. Getting everyone? So here we are creating an Express application. Okay, so here we are ready with the Express application, but we should start that application. Getting? So what exactly this Express application will do? It will create a server. It will create a server on a specific port which will start listening continuously without being shut down. So it will continuously start listening. How it can do? So the application is ready, the server is ready for that. How we should start listening it? We should say app.listen. Very clear, guys. See, it will ask you the port number. So I'll say it should open on the port number 3000. Okay, generally we should use 3000. After that, I'll write one anonymous function. So what is anonymous function over here? So the people who are not familiar with the anonymous function, let me give a clear idea about that. It is very simple. You will enjoy it. Let me write a good sentence here. I am ready to listen you. Okay, fine. So what we are saying over here, we have created the Express app over here. Now it is started listening on a particular port number. So it is creating a server, we can say, and it is started listening on this particular port. But when it will start, for example, I'm saying app.listen. It doesn't mean that it will start immediately. Getting? It doesn't mean that it will start very immediately. To turn it on, to turn a server on, to make a particular application up running, it will take 1-2 seconds to complete some internal procedure. Getting everyone? So whenever that will be up, whenever it will get started to listen, that time what should happen? We should able to know that. Getting? That is the reason we have wrote one anonymous function. So what is the role of this particular function? The area that I have highlighted over here. The role of this particular area that I have highlighted over here, this is an anonymous function. So this function will get executed whenever the server is started, because we are saying app.listen. So we have instructed, but when that instruction will get completed depends on the CPU load or internal processing. So that is the reason the anonymous function will be very much useful. So we have just given that function over there, and now we can proceed with the further instructions. So whenever the application will start listening, it will just execute that function. And what is the benefit of that? So I have written one console over here. So whenever it will turn on the server and start listening on that particular port, so it will print on the console like I am ready to listen to you. Then I can understand now its server is ready. Getting? So you can also do other stuff over there. I'll just save it. I'll again say node index.js. Let's see what happens. That's perfect. What I'm getting here, I'm ready to listen you. It means that my Express application is ready and listening to my request now. It is ready to listen my request. Now one important difference you should find out over here. What is that? Previously when we have run this particular index.js file, so it started and immediately closed. It started and immediately closed. The process got killed. And now here you can see it is saying I am ready to listen. It didn't close. I need to manually close it. See, I'm pressing Ctrl C. I'm again turning it on. It is again started listening. I'm again manually closing it. So the challenge of accepting a bunch of requests in a short duration. So there it is not closing each and every time. It is continuously up and start listening. So we can process it. So it will not get down unless we do it or some other issues will come up. So this is an advantage that we are getting with the Express app we have created over here. This is just one of the things that we have done with the Express. There are multiple things are available in the Express that we'll see in the upcoming sessions. Getting everyone? Okay, perfect. So we'll do one thing. We'll do the first route over here. So I think you might have seen whenever the REST API documentation will be there. Let me take a short overview with an example. Yeah, this is a small example here. I can say, for example, whenever API documentation will be provided to any front-end developer or any front-end application, so it will be provided something like this. So these are the path we can say. These are the endpoints we can say. So if you want to add a post, you should say /post/add using the method post. If you want to delete the post, you should call the endpoint /post. Post is plural over here. After that, delete-post, and your method should be delete. So this particular path is called as endpoint. Getting everyone? So as a backend, as a REST API application from the backend, if you are providing the multiple services, you're providing a service to perform a registration, to perform a login, you're providing a service of adding a new article, editing an existing article, adding the comments and like everything, getting everyone. So you are providing a multiple operations on that. So when you are providing a multiple operations, so definitely you will provide the multiple addresses where the people can come and do the operation. For example, if the people want to register, so what endpoint you will provide? User/login. If the people want to register, if the front end want from the front end some requests are coming for the registration, what endpoint you will provide? /users/register. It means that for different operations, you're providing the different endpoints. You're providing the different addresses within you. Ultimately, they are coming to you in a backend as a backend to the backend server only. But besides you, inside you, there will be different, again, some addresses you are providing. If you want to log in, go there. If you want to register, go there. Getting everyone? So these are called the endpoint. So for our application now, let's see our code and what our code is saying that. Our code is saying, for example, I'm running the application and the code is saying that I'm ready to listen you. Okay, that sounds good. So my application is ready on port 3000. Let's quickly try to see how exactly it is working. I'll say localhost 3000. Oh, it is giving me some error. It is saying cannot get. It is saying that it is not able to get any endpoint. Getting everyone? This is the full-fledged application where we have provided the different endpoint where the request can come and we can start serving it. But if you see, for us, we are getting an error because in our application, till now, we haven't added any endpoint where we can, where the people can come and we can start processing their request. So I'll do one thing. I'll just create a sample test route over here. It is also called as route. The endpoint, whatever we are discussing, it should be also called as a route. So from now onwards, we'll say it as a route. So I'll say app use. That sounds good. So I'll say /test. That's okay. And whenever the people will come on this particular route /test, this anonymous function will get called. Again, very clear. What is this anonymous function? I think everybody are pretty much clear now. Let me write something over here. Received request. Okay. So what exactly is happening over here? So here we are writing app.use and we are saying /test. It means we are providing one address where we are providing one endpoint. We are providing a route where the request can come. So whenever the request will come over here, we are providing an anonymous function one more time again here. Very interesting what this anonymous function is doing. So as we have told, now the application is ready, started listening us. So whenever a new request will come, it could be 1,000 requests per second, not a problem. Whenever the new request will come up, this anonymous function is going to call automatically. Getting everyone? So what will happen? Whenever a new request will come, it will come into this particular request, anonymous function, and we are able to see this console.log received request. And there are two additional options over here. What is that? We are having a request, we are having a response. Okay, so we have received the request with this request object. So whatever the user is sending some data, we can see that in this particular request object. Very interesting. So the user is coming, the particular request is coming on this particular endpoint with this particular request. So this request will have the data or any other parameters. After that, whatever the response we are going to give it back, that is also ready. So we can also now give some response, some messages, some status code. Remember, we have discussed about the status and the methods of a request. Perfect. So what we are going to do over here, so I'm going to say here, for example, it should be request. Okay, fine. We'll do one thing. I'll just save it. Okay, one important thing here, everyone. So when this particular application is running like this, okay, now I'm getting an error. What is that? It is saying me that duplicate parameter name not allowed in this context. Oh, my mistake. It should be request and response. Okay, now let's see. Yeah, one thing that I want to told, so when this application is running like this, so if you do some changes over here like this, it will not get reflect. You need to close this particular process and then you need to again restart it. Getting everyone? And we'll overcome that problem as well in the upcoming session. So you need to say Control C. It got closed. Again open it. Again I'm having some problem. Oh, I forgot to save that. Okay, now it's running. Okay, so what I can do, I can just open my Chrome. I can just say /test. Okay, a request is coming on test. A request is coming on this particular text. It is very important to understand this very good point here. So this is our backend. For example, this is from the front end from a browser. We have requested something. It came to our location. Let's try to understand, guys. Very important here. So it came at this particular server, localhost 3000. Okay, that is me. That is localhost 3000. That's perfect. But you came to me. But what exactly you want? Where you want to exactly go? There are many things available with me. So I want to go in for the test route. Getting everyone. So from there it will come to the test route. If you are seeing here, it is saying that I want the test route. Okay, that is also perfect. So what I will do, now you have came inside this particular test route. So I will process your request. So if I want to process your request, let's see the code, what is happening. See here, /test, it is saying request and response. It means that it came to this particular anonymous function. And you will be able to see request received. Getting everyone? Let's quickly see what is happening. So we are calling localhost 3000. Okay, that is perfect. It means we have came to this particular backend server. Inside that backend server, which endpoint I want? I want the test endpoint. Okay, so inside this backend server, I want the test endpoint, this one. So in code, this particular anonymous function got executed because for this endpoint, this anonymous function will get executed. I hope everyone are pretty much clear with this now and enjoying it. Okay, perfect. So we'll do one thing. So I'm observing one problem over here. What is that? I'm observing one problem over here is that we are receiving the request. We are receiving the request, but we are not giving anything back. We are not giving any response back after completing the process of this particular request. We are not giving anything back to the requester here. We are taking the request, but we are not giving the response. See that clearly. So whenever the request is came, this function will get executed. But what about the response? The response is still like this only. We are not sending any response back. And how I can prove that? I can prove that here. If you are able to see, it is still spinning and spinning and spinning. I'll do it again. See. The request came here. I'm able to see it here. And it is still spinning and still spinning. Why it happened? Very important to understand. The request we received, after that it came to this particular endpoint of test. We have started processing it. On console we have also added something, but we are not giving anything back. That is the reason it is spinning and spinning and spinning. Very important from the troubleshooting perspective, guys. So many times you will see something, you are calling a REST API and every functionality and everything is properly working, but from the front end developer will still complain you, I'm still not getting any reply. For example, the front-end person is calling your REST API for adding something, adding an article, given the data using the post method, like this. Given the data of post some article, you have also added in the backend, it got reflected in the database as well, but you're not giving the response. What response? The article added successfully or not added successfully or anything. So this particular front end will still spin and spin and spin. I think you might have observed many times on many websites, it will just continuously spin and spin and spin like this. So I hope everyone are pretty much clear. So why this exactly occur? Fine. It is very important. Either it could be a success, either it could be fail. You must give a response within a dedicated time. So what we will do, we'll say response. So while giving the response, two important things you should consider. What is that? One, you should mention the status code. Second, you should mention the data. The status code is very important. The data depends on your situation. Fine. So we'll do one thing. Response. I'm saying SRES, response dot status. That's perfect. Response dot status. So I want to say the status code for this is 200. What this 200 indicates? We have seen the status codes already. Let's quickly revise that. So HTTP status code. HTTP status code, where is that? Where is that? I think this one we have seen. Yeah, I'm not able to remember this, but this 200 status code, it means that it's an OK. It means that whatever the request has came, it was OK and we have processed it. So this 200 is indicating OK. And I want to send the reply. And it should be, for example, success. Getting everyone? So we have received the request. That is the reason this anonymous function got called. And then we are printing something on console. And this time we are doing a good job. What is that? We are giving a response. It means now your front-end application will not just spin and spin and spin like this. See, it is still spinning. So we'll do one thing. Again, we need to manually close the server using the Control C, again turn it on using the node index.js, and now it is showing us, okay, I'm calling it, getting everyone, I'm getting some response, success, and let's see, this is not spinning and spinning. Again, let's verify in the new tab for the confirmation. Getting, instantly we are getting the response, and it is not even spinning because we have it received the response. So it is requested for something, it came to the endpoint, we have processed it, and we have again given back the response, and that's it. The REST API transaction is completed. Again, if you are giving me the data back, again someone is requesting me, or you are only requesting me, I'm giving you something back, that will be completely different scenario. There will be no linking of previous request and the new request. This is what exactly the REST API do, and this is how the REST API will work. I hope everyone are pretty much clear with this particular concept of with our first Express app for this REST API. One thing we'll add over here. So while writing the code from now onwards, please use one extension. So the extension name is, it is prettier, if my spelling is correct, it is, yeah, this one, prettier code formatter. For me it is already installed. You please install this extension. So what is the benefit of that? So once you have installed that, you can just right click and click on format document. Then it will ask you for make this is the default formatter, and every time after writing the code, right click format, right click format. So what exactly it will do for you? For example, see what I'm doing here. Okay, so what I have done, this is not looking good. So immediately what I will do, looking good. So what is the benefit of this? So this will make your code a good align with the standards. Getting everyone. So definitely you should do this, and because whenever you will receive some errors, so definitely, as I already told you, the issues will be with some bad alignment, or you can say some case sensitive, or using the bad naming convention. So when you will use this prettier functionality and do right click format document, so it will automatically right click, or it will ask you format document with, you should select prettier or configure default formatter, select the prettier, that's it. Now ESA like this. Getting everyone. So this is the way you can make the application more beautiful. Perfect. Yeah. So we'll do one thing. So now we'll do one thing here. We'll add one more new package. And the problem that I'm facing over here, the challenge that I'm facing over here right now, for example, I'm changing something over here. For example, instead of success, I want received a request or anything. I want to just change something in my code. I'm just saving it, but it is not getting affected, but it is not changing my program. It is not automatically again shutting down the server and not again turning on the server, because in development what will happen, you will just every time, you cannot just come here, shut down the app and again open it like this. You are changing the code. If you are saving it, it should automatically restart the application. Getting that will be very much easy. So what we'll do, instead of every time closing like this and again turning out on like this, to reduce this problem, we'll install a new package over here that is called, if I'm not correct, it should be npm install -save -dev. It should be Nodemon. Okay, so it is important here. npm install is familiar to you now. What is -save and -dev? So this will be a development dependency only, because this feature will be needed in development only, because the code will get changed frequently in the development, not in the production. So that is the reason I'm mentioning here. So whatever this new dependency I'm adding, that should be in development only, not for the production. Fine. And the package name is Nodemon. It will take a minute. Yes, it got installed. So what we can do now, so here we need to do something. Open the package.json file. In package.json file, you will find script. So be careful while changing this particular file, guys. You just need to say comma over here, next one, and here you should say start, and it should be Nodemon. Nodemon should watch index.js, something like that. Fine. So it is executing index, not watch, we can say it is executing index.js using Nodemon. So how exactly it will work? So from now onwards, we should not say node index.js. So what does this mean? We are executing a node application and the file is index.js, the starting point, the entry point we are saying. So from now onward, this will not be the case. It should be npm start, npm start. So what exactly it will do now? Let's see. Okay, it is giving me a set of instructions over here. What it is saying? It is saying me Nodemon. It means my execution is happening using the Nodemon over here. To restart at any time, enter rs, watching the file paths and everything. So what it is saying, watching and everything over here. So it is saying me that now the server is on, the app is running like always. You can see here. I'm ready to listen. Okay, I'm ready to listen. And if you change received request, I'll make it received request 1. Let's see here. I'm just saving control S. Again saying control S. I'm saying receiving 2. Just control S I'm pressing. Just for your confirmation. Yeah, look at the terminal. Getting everyone. So whenever we are changing the files, whenever we are changing the code files, this particular server, this particular app will automatically is restarting. Why? Because that Nodemon is continuously keeping watch on our files. So whenever the changes are happening, we are performing a save, it is restarting the application, and it will make your give you a very good flexibility. So let's see what is happening here. Yes, we are getting the response. So now we are properly able to build a backend application, we can say. So from front end, now we can raise a REST API, we can take a request, we can assign it to a dedicated endpoint, we can start working on that, we can again give the data back with some status code and the data. I hope it is very much clear to all and everyone have a very good understanding about the topics that we have seen. The Node.js installation for the runtime, the installation of VS Code. We have also how we have created an application using the npm init. After that, how we have created our first application, how we have installed the Express over here framework, what is the use of that, and then at last how we are using the Nodemon. So few things will be optional, but it will be helpful to add, for example, the prettier Nodemon. It will make your life more simpler. Fine. So I hope you have enjoyed this session. We'll see again in the next session what we can do the best. And from the next session, we'll start planning for our course project. In our course project, what are the facilities will be there, what database we are going to select, and what are the things that we are going to cover in our course project, and how it will be helpful from the next session. Fine. So thank you so much, guys. We'll meet again in the next session. Thank you so much.